Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today's video, it is a map tactics, um, light tank scout guide. Um, yeah, probably a very difficult read name, but basically this video is going to talk about how you can be a light tank, a good light tank in uh, Erlenberg, right? So there's two type of scouting, which is passive scouting and active scouting, um, which many of you should already know. So I will talk about how you can take some positions or routes that both on passive and active on both spawn. So the north spawns and the south spawn. Alright, you guys with me? Let's get started. First, there's two passive positions that you can use um, from the south base. One is located in this area. Oh, okay, right here. Be careful, do not lock down the tree, or the enemy will know you're here. From this position, you can pretty much spot all the enemies coming down this way. On top of the the, the ridge below that, and you guys know that bush on this hill. You can spot that as well. So this is a pretty good starting positions that you can use. Alright, move on. The other scouting positions passively you can use is right here. Now you need to push a little bit forward. Try to do not lock down this tree. You need to push a little bit forward because as you can see here, if you sit behind this bush, the bush in front of you will block your view range. Alright, so remember to push in a bit that you can scout ahead in this area where the enemy will try to come over this way. You'll get spotted. This position is only good for the initial spot because once the enemy charging on this alleyway, they will spot you if they get probably 100 meters. So you need to pull back and try to be supportive and taking pot shot, whatever, what have you. So that's pretty much the passive scout spot on the south base. So let's move on to active scouting. So on active scouting, there's only two routes that that is useful in my opinion, but that can be always changed by you know, the situations. So do not take what I said is a 100% safe route. By the way, this is the scouting route of active scouting. You come above this castle, loop around. Hopefully they do not have many tank destroyer camp behind because you might get wrecked here. And try to duck, weave, do whatever you have to be to try to avoid shots while spotting all the enemies. The other active scouting route is obviously on the right side on this map, which will split into two smaller routes. The first one is here. You can peek this corner. Usually the enemies will get spotted, but you will get spotted as well. So play this reach line well. Try to get spots on the enemy. The other one is right over here, where usually there will be enemies come along this hill and try to put some shots. So if you are in a good light tank, have decent turret armor, you can actually use this spot, because this hill here will provide some cover for you to use, and you can get hold down positions around here, take some shots. While if the enemies try to push down here, they will get spotted by you as well. So once the your team has pushed in, you can take either these positions just to try to passive scout a bit, or these positions here, again passive scouting. Right? Try to spot the tank destroyer maybe camping in A0, but you need to be careful about, because some players will tend to blind fire that positions. If you're more of a active scouting role, you can come over this ridge, probably run here 1 or 2 times. If you're not spotted, then move into this second ridge line here. Then you'll 100% spot the enemy tank destroyer if they camped here. Alright, so that basically cover the south base, and let's get the north base. On the north base, there is not much passive scouting spots on the right side on the map, so you probably want to push in this corridor here to try to counter the other positions where the light tanks will likely to be. Or if you're a smaller tank, you can basically sit here and still see the enemies there. On active scouting on the north base, you can play around this ridge. Probably try something like this. Try to spot the enemy. Something like this. Try to side scrape, though side scraping in a light tank is not very effective, but you can try it. So get some field range up. Alternatively, you can go over to these positions, which is a bit more dangerous, because as you can see, if you're caught in here and they have a mediums or light tank with actual turret armor, they can pretty much wreck you if you do not leave here these positions. But if they don't, you can take this bush, peek out a bit. You can spot the tank destroyer camping behind H9 positions, which is pretty helpful for your team. So let's move on to the left side. So on the right side, or in spawn. You can passive scouting in the middle, but it's a little bit different from the south spawn. You want to take this exact route, and here, this tiny bush that you can hide, probably a little bit back. You can get vision along this, so the enemy heavy tank or tank destroyer with very bad camera rating, you can lead them off, lead them up. Yes, that's what it is I'm going to say. So if you have some tank destroyer sitting on this ridge, they can give you some spotting damage, especially when in lower tiers where the majority of the enemy is not that well great. So, but this position sometimes can be countered by the passive spotting positions on the south, so be watch of that. Now let's go to the active scouting route, which is instead of stopping in this bush, come around here and basically just loop this castle, something like this. Well, obviously do not bump into everything, and you can either come down this way or just stay above, but it's basically the same. You return here and try to get out, because you will most likely be spotted. So once you do your job, the initial spot, you can probably sit around this ridge to provide some supporting fire, or you can push around the middle. Oops. Uh-oh. Well, I guess that is pretty much it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.